New York is expensive, but luckily you can enjoy this amazing city for free. As long as you're okay with a little bit of walking. There are tons of parks, museums, and neighborhoods, and you never know who you'll meet. Unless this is the first free things to do in New York video that you've watched, I'm pretty sure you've heard the common ones like Shakespeare in the Park, the Staten Island Ferry, walking tours. While those are free and available, I'm giving you the free options I'd be interested in as a local. So I broke this up into a couple different categories, and the first category is parks and nature. Like most other states, parks are free. I'll go ahead and start off with the big one, Central Park. I do love Central Park. It is iconic. It is right smack dab in the middle of Manhattan. It's absolutely huge. There's so much fall foliage right now too, so it's absolutely gorgeous. Central Park is one of those things that anybody can do because you don't need money to go there. Sure, there are lots of vendors and food and stuff along the park. A lot of people trying to sell you like caricatures and stuff, but going to the park itself is free. You can go to the park and have like a little picnic, bring your own food, bring your own champagne. I've done that before. And just walk around and soak everything in. There's so many different performers. There's always something going on. Sometimes they're filming in Central Park. There's also a zoo in Central Park that is not free, but they do have a zoo there if you want to go to that as well. And there's just so many different like nooks and crannies that you can go to. There's a rock I call Pride Rock that's near my office because my office is right next to Central Park, and I like to go there every now and then. Like I like to take walks in Central Park often, actually. There's this rock that I like to go to because once I go to the top of it, I'm the only one there. I've filmed a YouTube video there before, like right when I started my channel. Like it was so long ago. There's a certain part where there's a lot of man-made waterfalls. There's all these artists there with like easels and watercolors and colored pencils and regular pencils. It's just so serene. It's absolutely gorgeous. Kind of makes you feel like you're not in the city anymore, because although New York is a huge city, one of the biggest cities in the world, it's not just a concrete jungle. There's so much nature here, and I don't think many people know that. But Central Park is not the only park here in New York. There's Washington Square Park, which is also a pretty cool one. This one is located right at the heart of NYU's campus, so there's a lot of college students nearby. Battery Park is another cool one. It's at the southern tip of Manhattan. You can see the Statue of Liberty because it's right along the river there, so you're able to just walk along the river and you can see the Statue of Liberty. There's Madison Square Park. It's more in Midtown. It's close to Macy's, like on the 30s. A lot of people sit there and eat and just take a break from shopping because it's right smack dab in the middle. You have Bryant Park as well, and Bryant Park is really cool for a lot of different reasons. It's on 42nd and I believe like 5th and 6th, but double check, don't quote me on this. You guys know I'm like really bad with like geography and telling you where things are, as noted in plenty of my videos. I know my strengths, okay? I know what I'm not good at. Bryant Park has free ice skating in the winter. There are actually 3 different ice skating rinks in New York. They have Rockefeller Center, of course, that's like the famous one. There's one at Central Park, that's Woolman Rink. It is not for free, but the one here at Bryant Park is for free, as long as you have your own skates. So if you're a skater or you just have your own skates, you can go skate there for free. If not, I believe the skates are like $10 or $15. They also have free movies on the lawn. It's like a really cute like date idea, or if you just want to chill or you have nothing else to do, and it's for free. Just make sure you show up early because it does fill up pretty fast. And around the holidays, they have a whole bunch of different vendors and markets and food. Of course, that costs money, but it's really fun to just walk through and be a part of it because like you really get to feel the Christmas spirit. And these are only a couple of the parks. We have so many parks in New York that people don't even know about. All the ones I just mentioned are in Manhattan. Now, I do want to mention some that are in Brooklyn because I am a little biased since I live here. You have McCarran Park, which is absolutely one of my favorite parks. McCarran Park is actually pretty close to where I live, so we do go often. McCarran Park has a lot of restaurants along the outside of the park, which is really cool. But on the inside, they have a skate park. They have a pool. Not many people know they have a pool, an Olympic-sized pool, and it is free admission. They have an outdoor gym. They have a football field with a track around it. They have baseball fields. They have softball fields. Like, it's a pretty large park, and a lot of different families go there. It has a really good vibe. Another park in Brooklyn is Domino Park. It's in downtown Brooklyn, right along the East River. So you get a lot of cool views, and also they have a lot of restaurants at that park and near that park. Also, I just heard about some floating island park that's new. I'm gonna put some information here on the screen about it because I think that's really cool. New York is always coming up with really cool ideas. And the last thing in this parks and nature category is beaches. New York has a lot of beaches. I have a couple videos on my channel of me going to Rockaway Beach, which is my favorite beach to go to just because it's easy to access and it's the closest. But there's also Brighton Beach, there's Coney Island, which is known for the cyclone, which I have never rode. I've actually never rode any of the rides at Coney Island. I definitely recommend going to the beach. If you live here, the beaches are pretty easy to get to here too. You just take the train like you would for anything else in the city. That's one of the main reasons I love living here. You can get anywhere just by taking the train. The next category is museums and attractions. The first one on the list is the Met Cloisters. It's Absolutely beautiful. It looks like a castle. There's so many different areas that you can like read or have a picnic or whatever. They have different exhibits. I've gone there before and there was a whole fashion exhibit. It's so cool, and it is pay as you wish. You could get in for free, I believe, but they do ask you to pay something. So I guess you can get away with paying like $1, but the money does go to support that beautiful facility. So if you can, definitely pay a little bit more. Brooklyn Botanic Garden is another one. I've shown this on my channel as well. That was my first time going to see the Japanese cherry blossoms. This one is also pay as you wish, but it is free on the off season, December through February. If you're trying to go for free, go during that time, because when the Japanese cherry blossoms come out in like April, May, they definitely make you pay something because it is like one of the main attractions at this place. Another one is MoMA. MoMA is the Museum of Modern Art. It is free every first Friday of the month. They also have a store that's really cool. So I mentioned that there was a zoo in Central Park that is not for free. There is another zoo in New York that is free, the Bronx Zoo. The Bronx Zoo is free on Wednesdays. I actually have never been to the Bronx Zoo. The High Line is really cool. It's down in Meatpacking. That's where you start the High Line. It's right by Gansevoort Market, by the Brass Monkey, by the Standard Hotel. It's like an elevated park. When you get to the end, you can see all the trains because it used to actually be a train station. Along the High Line, there's lots of different art, there's lots of vendors, and there's lots of really cool apartments. I hope their windows are soundproof though, because there's always people on the High Line walking. There's places for you to sit and chill. That is free to walk whenever you want to. It's also really good for dates and really good to just kind of explore if you're new to the city. Brooklyn Bridge is another one. We have so many bridges in New York, but Brooklyn Bridge is definitely the one to walk. The structure alone, just how is that possible? I would definitely opt for walking the Brooklyn Bridge when it's sunset or sunrise if you want to get up early. It's usually pretty crowded. You still have a lot of photo ops if you're trying to get some cool pictures. All these places I'm mentioning are very aesthetic and you definitely want to snap a couple photos. Oculus Mall. This one is cool mainly because of the architecture. It is a shopping mall and I think it's also a train station if I'm not mistaken. It's right next to the One World Trade Center and it's also close to the 9/11 Memorial, which is also free if you want to check that out. It has these like giant white beams inside. It is so cool looking. Whether you're going shopping or window shopping, it is a place to go get some cool photos. This one is one of the things I really love to do. Chelsea art galleries. There are so many art galleries in Chelsea, hundreds actually, and they're all free. You can walk in and check them out. If you do want to buy some art, you can. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. One of my favorites is David Zwirner. He has such cool exhibits. I know I mentioned that this isn't every free things to do in New York video, but it is pretty cool. The Staten Island Ferry, you can take it for free. People will try to sell you tickets for it though. Do not fall for it. It is free. You do not have to pay to ride the Staten Island Ferry. People use it for work and commuting to and from Staten Island from the city. You can get a beautiful view of the Statue of Liberty. It's right there on the water. It looks huge. Another photo op. If you want to get some photos, you'll probably get to watch people commute. Every time I'm going to work and leaving work or just walking around the city in general, tourists always look at me and probably anybody else like me, like, oh my God, a New Yorker. Okay, the last category on the list is neighborhoods. The first one on the list is, again, a little biased because I live here, Williamsburg, Bushwick. If you are visiting, please visit Brooklyn. All you have to do is take the train right over the bridge and you get to explore this really laid back and really cool borough. I feel like a lot of people when they visit, they only think of Manhattan. There's so much art here and people are really talented, like extremely talented. A lot of thrifting, which obviously costs money. Just walking around and kind of getting a feel of this neighborhood. It is like night and day, Manhattan and Brooklyn. I work in the Upper East Side, so every day I'm going into the city. The vibe there and the people there is so different from the vibe in Brooklyn and the people in Brooklyn. I like both of them in their own way. Fifth Ave in Manhattan is also a place you should check out. A lot of high fashion. All the big name designers are there. It's right there next to Central Park. You got the plaza right there. Another one is Rockefeller Center. Absolutely check out Rockefeller Center if you're visiting, especially in the holidays. No one does Christmas like New York. It is truly magical. They have the ice skating rink that I told you about that is not free, so keep that in mind. You do have to pay for this one. If you do go to the ice skating rink, you will absolutely see somebody getting proposed to, like actual figure skaters just like showing off their best skills. Another neighborhood that's right there near Rockefeller Center is Radio City. You can walk around inside, see the NBC studios. Being in these places is a little surreal. Times Square, even as a local, I'm saying this, but Times Square is really cool. I do not go there often because it is tourist city. I mean, to the point they put the restaurants that nobody eats in New York in Times Square. like Olive Garden and Red Lobster. They know tourists are gonna want something familiar. We have way better food in New York that you should try out. But Times Square is absolutely gorgeous in the day or at night. I recommend going at night just because there's so many lights, there's so many billboards. It's what I used to think of when I thought of New York before I moved here. The Lower East Side is also a really cool place to hang out. It has a really cool nightlife. If you're trying to party, go to Lower East Side at night. I used to hang out Lower East Side all the time. I used to hang out with a promoter and we were going out like every single week. I used to party so much. I don't know how I did it because I definitely can't do that now. A couple of the places I used to go to no longer exist though, so it's really sad. There's still really cool places out there and they're always opening something new. Ooh, Tribeca is another one. Tribeca is right there by the water. It has really beautiful architecture, a lot of really cool apartments. I feel like a lot of famous people live there. There's all these piers and the piers have parks. There's a skate park, there's putt-putt, there's like a volleyball court. People are always biking over there. There's always something going on in that area right there by the water. Whether you're going out to a restaurant or you're just walking along the water and walking on the piers, it's definitely a place that you want to go and hang out if you want to explore that neighborhood for free. The last neighborhood I want to mention is Soho. It is so chic. There's all these little boutiques and all this cobblestone that's been there since it was built. Like they've never taken out the cobblestone. That is the cobblestone that was there when it was first put there. Don't wear high heels in that area, and if you do, good luck. It's also very high-end shopping. And then they have places like Zara and all that. In Soho, there's this one restaurant. Here I am giving you another restaurant recommendation that you didn't ask for. Sadel's homemade bagels. If you're into lox, they have like a whole tower that you can get salmon and capers and onions and like your bagels and the cream cheese. Again, not free, but I have to throw that in there. But the area is absolutely beautiful. I feel like that's where a lot of YouTubers go when they are visiting New York. They want to get like cool footage. I feel like everyone's going to Soho. There are so many more neighborhoods than that. You should absolutely explore because going and walking around neighborhoods is free. You always find something that's unexpected. Walk around, get lost, have no plan, and just walk around neighborhoods because you never know who you will meet. That is how I've met so many celebrities. Mariska Hargitay, Jonah Hill, Bradley Cooper. Just walking around, you never know who you'll meet. Again, these are all just things that I would consider doing for free. If you want to go on a walking tour or if you want to go see Shakespeare in the park, that is a real thing. You can do those things for free. And I'm just like scratching the surface. There are other free things to do in this city. If you guys have any other free things that you could do in the city that I forgot or didn't mention or something that I might not know about, put it in the comments. This was one of those videos that I put in my poll. We are making our way down the list. Stay tuned next week to see the next one on the list because I'm really excited to film this one. I've been planning it for so long. I'm gonna stop hyping it up before you watch it and you're like, it's not that good. If you made it up this far, comment the bag of money emoji. Even though this video is about free things, I really like that emoji. And we're out here manifesting money. I will see you next week.